So I've never really done like a story time vlog before, but I'm just gonna go ahead and like story time this situation for you because I feel like that's probably just the easiest way to go about this, because so much bullshit happened on this trip. It was just like unreal. Like, it was honestly something out of a movie. And that's honestly why we had to leave. Like, there's a lot of people in my comment section about Ultra thinking that I left because of the transportation and like stuff that went wrong with the actual festival, which I'll get into that because yeah, that was kind of shitty, but like no, that's not the reason I left. I've been to plenty of festivals before where stuff like that has gone wrong, and I would never leave just because transportation's bad or something like that. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. So we showed up at the airport, okay, and we were running a little bit late, I'm not gonna lie, but we weren't running that late. And this was at the airport in my hometown, and like, I've been there so many times. I am not even kidding you, not dragging it. I've literally been late for international flights before, and like, I've never had an issue, never missed my flight. They've always been very accommodating. There's never been a problem. And we had already checked in online, like we had already paid for our bags online. And so we get there and I'm like, hey, like to this woman, because we tried to go straight to the kiosk and like it wouldn't let us. And so I'm like, hey, like it's not letting us. I already paid for this online. I need help. And she was so rude. Like, you have no idea. She was literally just like, you're late. You're gonna miss your flight. And I was like, okay, so that's the only thing you're gonna say to me is just, I'm gonna miss it. That's it. Because I wasn't that late. Like, I know what's being late and what's not being late. So anyways, I got into an argument with this woman for like a good 5 minutes over whether I'm gonna be late or not. And I'm like, dude, okay, I don't need to argue with you over whether I'm gonna be late. Can you please tell me where to go? Because this is ridiculous. Like, I was so over it. And this was also like early in the morning. So I was like, girl, chill. She told us to go to like special customs, or I don't even know, guys. But you go to like that part of the airport when shit goes wrong, and you can't just go to normal like checked baggage or your normal check-in. And so that's where we went. We walked over there, and the woman over there was completely fine. She was like, no, you guys are fine. I mean, yeah, you're a little bit late, but like, you're okay. She checked our bags. It was super nice. She was like, your gate's that way. So I mean, like, it was a complete night and day situation. Unreal. But like, fighting with that woman definitely like hurt us on time. So then when we were heading towards security, we were like, okay, we just have to tell security that like we need to hurry up. And usually at my airport, there's never really like a huge line with security. And this day we go down the escalator and there's like a huge line with security, and I'm like, okay, of course it happens this day. So done. And so anyways, we walk up to security, and Elena like says to the guy, she's like, hey, we got held up at baggage. We're like running a tiny bit late. Is there any way we can like be in a line that's faster or whatever? Because like, you do have to take a shuttle and like all this other crap in my airport to get to your gates. And he's like, no, you're fine. Like, I'm not even kidding you. The guy says, no, you're fine. Like, half the other people, I just looked at their boarding passes, they're on your same flight. So Elena and I were just going with what the guy was saying. We go through security and we sit there, and security for some reason took so long that day. Like, even I just took a flight the other, like literally last weekend, and security took no time. It was from that same airport, but for some reason security was taking so freaking long. Like, the line we were in was not moving, and I have no idea why. It was just like, it was a nightmare. And I was like, all right, this is unreal. So we get out of security, we put all our crap in our bags, we're like running, we book it, we get on the little shuttle. It's like taking us over to our gate. We literally get off the thing, and like, neither of us had eaten or anything. We were planning on grabbing food really quick because we were not running that late. Like, literally left my house with plenty of time. We're sprinting to our gate because we were like worried anyway. We were just like, how we both had really bad anxiety about it. We're like, we just have bad feeling. So we were sprinting to our gate, and we got there, and we still had enough time, mind you. And we looked down at our boarding passes, and it literally says the gate closes at 8, and it had literally not even turned 8 o'clock yet, and no one was at our gate. And we were like, what is going on? And there was other people behind us that had just gotten to the gate too, so it wasn't just us. I mean, like, no one was there, not a single person, not anyone that worked for the airline, no one. And we were like, what in the so we go and we find, I don't even think these people worked for the same airline, but we just went up to them and we were like, hey, we're on this flight, it's gone, and like, we really need to get on it, because we checked our bags like again, and they were on the freaking flight. And we were like, the woman looks up our flight and she's like, yeah, your flight's already gone. And I'm like, what? Because the flight wasn't supposed to leave for another 15 minutes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And she's like, yeah, no, it's sometimes we leave early and it left. And we were just like, are you, like, you just leave early? Like, I mean, and this was United Airlines, by the way. Like, and I've flown, like, I don't think I've ever, like, I don't know the last time I've ever So the woman tells us to go to customer service. We go to customer service. They basically tell us there's nothing they can do for us, and the next flight takes off in the next morning. And we're like, that's not gonna work. Like, our stuff is already in the next, and in my instance, like, I take a lot of medicine for my neurological disorder, and like, some of it was in my suitcase, and some of it was in my backpack, obviously, because I keep some of it with me, but some of it was in my suitcase. So I'm like, yeah, no, I need my suitcase. So it was just like all a big shit show, honestly. So then we start panicking. We went, we found like a bench, and like they wouldn't give us a refund or anything because neither of us got insurance on our flights. Whoops. Honestly, we bought them so last minute. I think we both just like panicked and weren't paying attention when we got them. So we went and found benches and we sat down and we were like, what do we do now? Because that woman was not helpful at all. So I started looking up flights from other airports, and Elena like calls the United Airlines like customer service to go ham on them, because she's like that type of person. Like, when stuff goes wrong, and like, because this woman was also really rude to us. Like, she was like, there's something I can do. And so like Elena just like went full mom, and she was like, no, we're calling United and this is not okay. She was like really upset. And so, and I love her for that. She's everything. And so anyway, so I'm like looking up flights. I find flights from a different airport, like, it's like an hour away. Like, it was only supposed to be like 40 minutes, but there was a lot of traffic that day, so it ended up being like an hour away. So we're like, fine, like we can barely make it, because the flight was supposed to leave at 12:30, and we're like, all right, we'll barely make it there, but fine, we'll make it, and then at least we'll be in Miami by like 2. It's not great, but like it's better than like all the alternatives and like whatever. At least we can still like, everything will be pushed back, but we can like get everything done that we had planned. So we bought these flights, and we go and we drive all the way to this airport. We get there, get our boarding passes. We're like so happy at this point. We're like, yeah, we're finally gonna get there, and like just like living life. And we get the boarding passes, and it's like, maintenance problem, your flight is delayed. And we're just like, why? Like, it was just awful. Then we get on this flight eventually at like 3 o'clock. We ended up having to wait in the airport for like 3 hours. It was awesome. We didn't end up getting to Miami till like 5. We had to go find our bags after that because they had landed hours before us, which honestly was kind of a breeze. We had to walk really far, but like finding them was a breeze. We found them pretty quickly. So I can't really complain about that. I'm not just gonna be like negative about everything. That was like really quick process, so it was great. And then after we got them, we were like, cool, everything's fine. Like, the flights were like stupid, but whatever, now we're in Miami. We're gonna have the best time ever tonight. Cause like my friend, like, who's a DJ, was playing shows, and he invited me to like, and I still feel so bad because I never even got to go to any of them. This whole night was so messed up, y'all, you have no idea. So we get to our Airbnb, which Elena found the Airbnb, and like usually when we go on trips, like I'm pretty sure I'm usually the one that finds like all the Airbnbs, because I don't know, I'm just like an investigator. Like, I investigate everything, and I know she is too, but I don't know, I'm weird about stuff. Like, I won't stay somewhere until I've like looked at every little possible thing. Like, I'm weird, especially with Airbnb, because like you're staying in someone's home, so I don't know, you're just taking like a gamble. So we get to our Airbnb, and everything's fine at first, and we're like, we had a few errands to run. Like, I had to get some stuff, and then Elena had to go to like a beauty store, and so we were like, let's just go run our errands, and then we'll like get food. And so, and like already when we got to the Airbnb, stuff was wrong. Like, because they told Elena there was going to be a TV in the Airbnb. You get to the Airbnb, there's no TV, and we're like, that's weird. So Elena, like, because the woman also like pulled up as soon as we got dropped up out of our Uber, which I thought this was so weird. We got dropped off out of our Uber. I don't know why I couldn't say that. We got dropped off out of our Uber, and the woman like pulled up immediately. I guess she lives in the house. She like pulled up immediately. She's like, what are you doing? Because we were going in the wrong door, and I was like, whoa, like, it was just weird stuff, dude. Like, and she was like, the door is on the other side, we have to walk up the side stairs, we make it as clear as possible. Like, she was like very rude about it, and we were like, okay, sorry, we didn't see any side stairs, because you literally had to walk through the grass like to the backyard. Who is gonna know that? Like, no one's to like break and enter into your house, and that's literally what it looked like you had to do. So anyways, after we have this like encounter with this woman, and we're like, okay, she was kind of rude, but like whatever, still gonna have a good night. That's when we got up there and realized there was no TV. Elena runs back down to her, and she's like, ma'am, like, there's no TV. And also, mind you, this woman isn't even the woman who was listed on the page as the host. Some dude was, like some younger guy. I think his name was Gene. I don't know. All this information I have in screenshots that Elena sent me, so I'm gonna put all that in here because I'm over this. This whole situation was so messed up the way they handled it, so like I'm not okay with it. I never usually like expose anything or anyone. I don't have any kind of videos like this on my channel, but like this shit was messed up and I'm like, nah, it's not okay. So then she goes on to this woman and she's like, hey, there's no TV. The woman goes, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't have time to install it, so we're gonna install it tomorrow. And Elena's like, we're not even gonna be in the room tomorrow, and like I have a $400 camera that like I'm leaving in the room. Like I don't really feel comfortable with that. I know like my friend has stuff she's leaving in the room. Like that wouldn't really be a thing at a hotel. You don't just like leave it open for people to walk in. Like you can put do not disturb on for mates not to come in if you're like have expensive stuff in the room. And anyways, the woman's like, well, it'll be fine. Like, we'll just bring maintenance people in. Like, while you're gone, we'll watch them. Like, it was just really shady stuff. And Elena's like, no, like, I don't want maintenance people in there with my stuff. Like, I don't know them. I don't even know you. Like, just really weird. And I wasn't comfortable with it either. I'm like, hell no. Who are you people? Not cool with that. I've seen horror movies that started this way. I watched too much true crime for this, people. And so anyways, that was kind of the first red flag. We were like, okay, that was weird. That was just like a weird thing that happened. I don't think either of us were like really upset about it, or like not like upset about not having a TV. I mean, like we had computers, so we were fine, and like we weren't really gonna be in the room that much anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. But it was just weird. And so anyways, we leave, we go and we run our errands. We come back. We go in the bathroom, guys. And in this bathroom, we heard a noise. Like, it sounded like TV. And we were like, what is that? Where is it coming from? Because in the bathroom, and I'm pretty sure that Elena sent me pictures of this too, so I'll insert all this in here. But there was like this big like cabinet, like dresser type thing, that you could like put towels and stuff in. And they were using it to hide a door. A mother door, guys. And this was listed as a private studio apartment. And if you go on Airbnb, like, it's pretty clear what the guidelines are for a private studio apartment. Like, it's not supposed to be a shared space in any kind of way. There's not supposed to be a door leading into anyone's house. I don't care if it's locked or not. There's not supposed to be a door. That's not what a private space is. It's not a private studio space. It's not a private anything. And so anyways, I'm just literally rambling right now. I'm not even making sense because I'm still so freaking angry about the entire thing. And my camera's like not focusing. Okay. There we go. Let me get back on track. So we realized there's a door, and like neither of us felt comfortable right off the cuff because we're like, who the hell is on the other side of the door? Like, we didn't know who was on the other side of the door. We actually didn't know it was locked at first either, because I wasn't just gonna go up to it and freaking try and open it. I don't know who's on the other side of the door. I don't know if they're gonna get angry if I open the door and like yell at me or trying to hurt me. So, and like, no, I'm not being dramatic. Watch true crime, that kind of shit happens. And so anyways, Elena calls Airbnb immediately and she's like, what the hell is this? Like, this is listed as a private studio apartment, and there's a freaking door in the bathroom that leads to another room. I can hear someone's TV on in there. I can hear them coughing. Like, what? And like, it was just really creepy. Long story short, the guy on Airbnb, on the line from Airbnb ends up telling us to go up to the door and open it. So like, I thought that was really weird. And like, let me know in the comments if you think that's weird or not, because I thought that was freaking weird. Like, he was like, go up to the door and open it. Like, I need to know if it's locked or not. Which I got where he was coming from, saying like, I need to know if it's locked or not. But like, what happens if it was like a crazy person on the other side? You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, what if it was unlocked? What if we did open it and it was like a dangerous person? Like, and we said that to him and he was like, well, then we'll terminate your stay there and you'll get your money back. And we were like, okay, but what if we got hurt? Like, it was bad. Elena freaked out because, like, I mean, we both had bad anxiety, but yeah, she just started like hyperventilating. So I kind of walked up to the door. Sorry, I'm like flipping my hair so much. I'm not used to having like such a big ponytail. It's like driving me crazy. It's beautiful, but like, damn, bitch. Okay. Anyways, I don't know how Ariana Grande lives her life like this. So I ended up walking up to the door and I just jiggled it and like tried to open it and it was locked. And so we told that to the guy and he was like, okay, well, even though it's locked, that's still wrong because it's listed as a private residence. So I'm gonna try and contact the host and see what I can do and get you a refund so you guys can get out of there. Because he didn't want to stay in there either. And we also told him about the TV thing in the meantime too. And he was like, yeah, it just sounds like at this point this is kind of like a scam and like not the best idea for you guys to be in. So he hangs up the phone and like he's trying to figure it out, and like we don't even really hear anything back from him, which I thought was weird because I'm like, if you were trying to like, I don't know, I thought the whole thing was super weird. So in the meantime, it was like late at this point and neither of us had eaten. We were both really tired. It was like almost 12 o'clock at night. So I'm like, Elena, like, listen, this is crazy. I don't even know when this guy's gonna, because she was like waiting for him to get back to us, and she was like, let's just like wait it out. And I'm like, we did for a while, and I'm like, okay, it's clear this guy is like either around or like something's not right with the host, or like I don't know what's going on, but it's been almost like 2 hours and nothing's happened. And I'm like, I'm not just gonna like sit here all night in this creepy place. Like, again, I don't know who that is. And like she was creeped out about it too. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna find a hotel. So I start looking for hotels and I end up finding us one. I think she helped find it too. I don't even remember who ended up finding it. That's how tired we were. Like, I started looking for them, and then I think she took over at one point, and like, yeah, we just went back and forth until we found a good one. And we just found a hotel, and we were like, we're not doing this. So we ended up packing up all of our stuff. I think she talked to the host like a few more times to tell him like, or not the host, sorry, the guy from Airbnb, to tell him that we were leaving. And then all of a sudden the host contacts her. Not even like the guy that she was talking to, like the woman. And she's like, hey, like my son, so I guess her son is the host of Airbnb, like the actual host on the page that's listed. His name's Gene, and she's his mom. That's what I'm assuming. And she's like, my son tells me you want to leave because there's no TV. No, girl, that's not why we want to leave. Like, seriously, I was so done. Sorry, I need to bleep out all these cuss words. It's gonna get demonetized. But no, that's not why we wanted to leave. Like, are you serious? So, like, yeah, that just sent Elena, and Elena ended up, like, she didn't fight with her. She was very mature back, and she was like, no, like, this is actually why. She sent her all the pictures of the door, like, being hidden, and she was like, we feel really unsafe. We're two young girls far from home. We don't even know, like, because neither of us have really been to Miami like that before. She was like, we really don't even know where we're going already, and like now there's some dude on the other side of the door, because we could tell it was a guy, but like how his coughing and stuff was. And we're like, we don't know who has the key to that door. Like, we're like, this is just really creepy. So no, like, we don't feel comfortable at all. And she tried to defend it and say like, well, this is like a hotel, like, you know what I mean? It's like a door like it would be in a hotel. Like, I have the key and I would only unlock it in emergencies. Like, because I guess that was her room. And that guy, I'm assuming, is her husband. I don't want to like just make assumptions over here. I'm just, even though I just said I'm assuming. But I think that's who he was. I think that was her husband, based on like, or someone who lived in the house. Because I'm assuming that was a room in the house. Since she was saying like, I'm the only one with the key and I would unlock it in emergencies. Because then she went on to say something like, that's my room and you would only hear like my TV. But she wasn't home at the time, so it was definitely a guy in there that was. And then when we were leaving with all of our suitcases and our luggage and stuff, a man came out of the room and the door, and he was like, hey, are you guys okay? Like, it was really creepy. Like, yeah, and he was like, it was an older man, and like, no, he didn't try anything or do anything. I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, older men are just creepy, blah. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But it was just the whole fact that this was supposed to be a private room, a private location. Like, it was literally listed as a private studio apartment. We get there, there's a freaking hidden door, and it was literally hidden. There was something pushed up against it in front of it, so you could barely see it. Like, we literally were like, is that a door? Like, I mean, that's ridiculous. And then Elena went back to the Airbnb listing, and you literally, through the pictures, this door is hidden in all of the pictures. They did not take one single picture of the door. Even in the bathroom, they took so many pictures of the bathroom and did not take a single picture of this door. Like, they were clearly trying to hide it. Like, I mean, it was just a scam, and it was so ridiculous. So then we just went on with our lives. We went to a hotel, and we like got food. We were so happy. We were like, screw it, like, we're gonna have a good time now. Even though like the hotel was expensive, I'm not gonna lie, because we had to get it same night. And we were like, like, we've spent so much money already, but like, we're just gonna live our lives, whatever. Like, Miami ultra. We went to bed. We wake up the next morning, and since I didn't get to do my job the night before, which was, I was doing something for Tiesto, and since I didn't get to do it the night before, I talked to the person, that my contact, and they were like, just come today. So I went the day of the first day of Ultra. So like, that was a whole thing in itself, because like, just doing 2 things in one day, it was a lot. Because like, going to Ultra already was a lot because of the transportation and the traffic and just everything. So like, going from like one end of, I think where we were was in Miami Beach, where this job was. I literally do not know Miami, so don't make fun of me. But I'm pretty sure where my job was in Miami Beach. And then from there we had to like go back. We had to pick up Elena's ticket from somewhere, which was back near our hotel. And then we found an Uber because we were originally gonna take the shuttle. And then we were like, I don't know if that's a good idea. There's gonna be a lot of people. Yeah, it just seemed really hectic. So we were like, I don't know about that. And we also didn't even know like where to get on or anything else like that. So we were like, let's just take an Uber. So we call an Uber. God bless. So we call an Uber, and literally at first everything's fine. And he starts driving, and we are like almost all the way to Ultra. And then all of a sudden, like, he's like freaking out, and he's like, I don't know where to drop you off. And I'm like, I literally saw the drop-off sign. And I'm like, sir, there was like a drop-off sign right there. And he was like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was the drop-off sign. But like, I'm like very shy, and like, I'm not the type of person where I'm just gonna be like, no, that was it. So I just was like, okay, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it was it, but whatever. And so I honestly just figured he was gonna U-turn again, and this man just kept on driving, and he drives us all the way back to Miami where he picked us up. This was like a 30-minute excursion. Like, it sounds like a quick thing, but this actually took almost up to an hour. I'm like, 30 minutes is me being nice. This took almost an hour because he was U-turning, and then we got stuck in traffic, and then it took him so long to drive all the way back to Miami. Then he just pulls over on a curb somewhere in the neighborhood, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, you have to get out. Like, I'm not even shitting you. And we were like, huh? Like, we were like, where even are we? And he's like, I don't know, but like, I don't know where to drop you off, so like, I'm sorry, like, I can't complete your trip, and like, I just need you to get out. And we were like, okay, lit. So we just get out of the car. Elena was like fuming at this point, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I was too. I'm not even gonna sit here and just be like Elena was. We were both fuming, and I was like, I don't even want to go to Ultra at this point. Like, this is so irritating. Like, what just happened? And anyways, I was being really dramatic. We were both being dramatic queens. So she calls another Uber, and we're like, fine, like, we'll just get in another Uber, everything's cool. This Uber pulls up, and we get in, and like, she starts trying to tell him everything that we just went through. Like, look, like, you need to go down, like, make a left at this street, and do this and that and this. Like, she was telling him like a 5-minute story. Like, she was going on and on and on and on. Like, it was so bad. And then all of a sudden, this man literally just turns around and looks at her, and he's like smiling like the biggest smile, and he's like, no inglés. And she like lost her marbles. Like, she was literally like, are you serious? And I'm like, Elena, like, chill, like, don't yell at him. That's not gonna solve anything. Like, let's all breathe for a freaking second. Because I mean, it is kind of scary when you're like two people in a car or something and you don't speak their language at all. Like, I'm like, okay, crap, how are we gonna talk to him? So I actually took like Spanish a little bit in high school and middle school, so I'm like, all right, I know like very minimal Spanish. I can do like a tiny bit of this. So I'm trying to speak like very minimal Spanish to him, the Spanish I know, which is like none. And it was not going well. And so finally Elena just like calls her dad, because I guess her dad is like fluent in Spanish, and she like puts him on speaker, and she's like, Daddy, listen, like, you need to talk to him, because like I don't know any Spanish. And like Gabby is like kind of everything just tried. And she's like, and we're literally lost. We've been in an Uber for like almost 2 hours now, and we're like gonna, because at this point it was almost 6 o'clock, like on the first day of Ultra. And like, we did not plan that. We wanted to get there early on the first day, so we were just like lit. Her dad ended up being able to translate to him, which was super awesome. And he like got us to the right place. We got dropped off. We were like, finally, everything's cool. And we like walk, we get into the entrance. Security didn't even check our bags or anything, which I thought was super weird. Like, I'm not complaining about that. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they didn't pat me down, that's so annoying. But I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't even like look in my bag. Like, I opened it for her, and she was like, no, you're cool. And I'm like, could I have like a gun or something? Like, not that I own a gun, but like, I totally could have had a gun. Just saying, not really the safest thing ever. And so anyways, we walk in, we like go through all that, then we started walking, and we're like, okay, the entrance should be somewhere. It was literally like a freaking, I don't even know, I don't want to like drag it and be dramatic, but like, I definitely feel like it was a mile at least to like the actual entrance of Ultra, which is kind of crazy. Like, we were walking for like a good 15 minutes, and I was like, I kind of feel like this is excessive for like an entrance of a festival. And again, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be all negative. Like, I had plenty of fun with my friends when I did get in there, but I'm just like, this is definitely a little excessive. Like, I know at EDC, like, there's been plenty of times where, like, the walk is long, but they have pedicab bikes to take you to the entrance, so you're not just, like, walking all the way there, or, like, they have ways for you to, like, get from point A to point B, so it's not just, like, you're walking for, like, 25 minutes. I don't know, or 15 minutes, or however long it was, but it was definitely a very long walk. Again, like, I'm not trying to drag things and make them overly dramatic. I kind of want to just stay as accurate as possible, but it was definitely a very, very long walk. So yeah, again, like, I feel like they could have had something to make it a little easier on everyone, because, like, again, someone like me, I have a neurological disorder in my foot, so, like, walking a ton before I even get in the festival, like, by the time I got into the festival, I was already like, all right, I'm in pain. Like, I was already like, I'm gonna be here for like an hour before I'm like, need to soak my foot in hot water, because, like, that was a lie. Like, it really was. I'm not even being dramatic. So then once we got in, everything was like fine. We went and we had fun. I would say though, like, Elena was like complaining about the noise bleeding at different stages, and I agree with her. Like, it was kind of hard to hear the music. Like, you had to be like right in there to like not hear all the sound from the other stages, and that's kind of like disappointing when you're at a festival. You want to be able to like focus on the stage that you're at, you know what I mean? And you shouldn't have to be like right in the front row, like on the rail, to like not hear the other stage's music. Like, I don't know, I just thought that was one thing that was kind of weird, because again, this is my first time at Ultra, so this was just an observation. And I know this was their first time in the new location too, so I'm not just like hating on them. I know like they did the best that they could in the new location, but I don't know, there was just some stuff I saw that I was like, wait a minute, like, what's going on here? And then yeah, so that happened. The noise bleeding thing was a thing, but I had fun with all my friends. I saw like a ton of my friends and we had a great time. Then around, like, we were there for like 2 or 3 hours, and then it started raining, and at that point I was already feeling really sick, because I don't know if like how much I've been talking about it on here. I don't really think I have, but I've been having like stomach issues lately. So yeah, I don't know what they are, trying to figure that out with my doctor, but yeah, I've been having stomach issues lately, which really sucks. So my stomach started to hurt really bad around that point anyway, and it was like raining, and Elena was kind of already over it, 'cause she was like really over the noise bleeding. Sorry, I'm just laughing thinking about her reaction. She was killing me. And so we were like, you know what, like, why don't we just leave? Like, we'll come back really early tomorrow and like not deal with it. And like, yeah, we just already got a late start today, and like it's not really our best day, and like we'll just like eat better tomorrow and like get here good tomorrow at like a better time, so we're not just like, yeah, I don't know. I felt like we were just really drained after having to like go to my work thing beforehand, and like I didn't really eat well before because I was nervous. And so yeah, we were like, let's just like go to bed, sleep it off, start again tomorrow. We'll get a better start tomorrow. We'll be here brand new, bright and early, and we'll just get like a completely new day. So we left, and we were like, okay, we have to find a shuttle, because I don't know how much you guys know about Ultra, but like supposedly they weren't letting Ubers back onto the island to pick people up. It was only shuttles. So we were like, okay, we have to find a shuttle. And this was around like 9 o'clock, I want to say, on the first day. And we, on the way to like walking to find a shuttle, we asked like security where the shuttle was, and they were like, it's down that way. And we see a cab, and I'm like, Elena, why don't we just hop in the cab? And she's like, okay, yeah. So we get in the cab, and I'm like, awesome, I'm so glad we found you. Like, I feel like messing with the shuttle would have been kind of crazy right now. And the cab driver looks at me and he's like, ha ha ha, no, those shuttles don't leave till 2 a.m. when everyone's done. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, so if I didn't see you, like, by accident, I would have been stuck here till 2 a.m. when the entire thing wrapped. Now, I don't know if what he said is factual. Like, I'm not just gonna, like, take some cab driver's word. But I also did hear a lot of people say stuff along those lines. Like, that the shuttles weren't leaving until, like, around 2 o'clock that night. And, like, that they were taking everyone around the same time. Because if you heard that night when everything wrapped, there weren't enough shuttles to take everyone home. So a lot of people ended up having to walk home off the island, which was like a long walk. I think someone said it was like 10 miles. I don't know if that's accurate, but like, holy shit, that's a lot. Yeah, so it was a lot, but I was really thankful we got in this guy's cab. He drove us all the way back to our hotel, and it wasn't really a big deal. So you would think that's where stuff gets better for us, right? We like sleep it off, and like our day 2 and 3 is great, right? Nah. So we go to bed, and I think Elena actually went out that night because she was like, our day was like shitty, and like I just want to go out. And I'm like, okay, like do your thing. Like, I was really tired, so I think I took a nap, and then I woke up around like 4 in the morning and just started puking, like just like violently throwing up. And I was like, why is this happening right now? Like I was like, I threw up for like an hour and then I was like, cool, that was so much fun. And then I went back to bed, woke up, I think we both woke up around like 8 or something, and I was like, I told her I threw up. I was like, dude, I threw up for like an hour last night. Like I don't feel good, because I was still like shaking and stuff. I'm like, I'm shaking, I'm sweating. I don't know what's up with me, but like I really just don't feel good. I don't know, I just need like a moment. And she was like, it's cool, like no rush to get to Ultra today, like let's take our time. And I'm like, yeah, like let's just take our time. So we were chilling, and then while we were like just taking our time, like neither of us had, I think like I had showered, but neither of us had really gotten ready yet. And I say to her, I'm like, I think it was me that started it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I started it. And I was like, why don't we check our flight home? Like I don't know why, something just like told me. I was like, why don't we check our flight home? And then she was like, yeah, and also like we can see if there's like an earlier flight since you're not feeling good. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So she calls the airline, and I'm not even kidding you, they're like, she's like giving them the confirmation number for our flight home and everything, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that flight, you don't have that flight anymore. And she's like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, since you were a no-show for your first flight. And I'm like, excuse me, like what? First of all, we were not a no-show. Your freaking flight left 15 minutes early, mother. I was so mad. Okay, anyways. But she was like, since you were a no-show, like your flight was canceled. So like you have no flight home basically. And like Elena was like, huh? Like you didn't send us an email, you didn't contact us. Like how would we have known that if we hadn't called you right now to like inquire about a possible earlier flight? We would have never known that, gone to the airport on Monday and been screwed. And like the woman's like, well yeah, that happens, yeah, yeah. I'm just like, what? Like it was just like the craziest shit ever. So we were like, that's super lit. And again, like they wouldn't give us any of our money back or anything, which again was partly our fault because we should have gotten insurance, but also like, come on, screw you. Like our flight left 15 minutes early. How is that our fault? Like, I don't understand. Can't. So then we were like, all right, there's no point in sitting here and just being like upset and freaking out. Like we need to find a flight home, because like what are we gonna do? Just like be stuck in Miami? That's not it. So then we had to sit there for like, and I think it was like later in the day at this point too, because like we had gone, she like, my dear friend, she literally walked and got me a smoothie because I was like that sick, and she knows smoothies like always make me feel better. So I think by the time that we had like started figuring out all the airline stuff, it was like 10 o'clock or so. So by the time we figured out we didn't have a flight and we started looking for them, it was around like 10:30, almost 11. So we're like, oh my god. So we started trying to find flights home, and like literally, first of all, it's so difficult because we're trying to find a flight for like the next day. And then secondly, it like all the flights were so ridiculously expensive that we were like, and we had already spent so much money on the hotel and the Airbnb, and it was just like, yeah, it was a lot. So we were like, great, what are we supposed to do? And Elena was also like, at that point she had like run out of money because she had only brought like a certain amount of money with her, and the rest of her money was at her house. So it turned into like literally an entire thing. Like she had to call her parents, they had to transfer her more money, we had to wait for that to happen. By the time that happened, it was like 1 o'clock, like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. We were like, okay. So we went ahead and like found plane tickets, bought them, and then it was like definitely like 3:30, and we were like, okay, at this point it's 3:30 by the time, and neither of us had like hair, makeup done, anything. I don't even think Elena had showered yet. So we were like, great, at this point we can either get ready, and like we just knew, we were like, by the time we get there it's gonna be like 7 o'clock at night, and like I still didn't feel good. I was like still shaking and stuff, and like sweating, and like it just wasn't it, and I still felt like I was gonna throw up. And Elena was just like upset, like she had been crying and stuff, so she was like, let's just skip it, like let's just not go and like spend the day at the pool and like have fun and like not deal with Ultra today, and then just fly, because our flight ended up being for Sunday. That was like the cheapest flight we could find. So we're like, let's just fly out on Sunday and like have a good day today and just like hang out by the pool. The next day we woke up, my flight was at like 6 in the morning or something ridiculous, so I had to leave the airport super early, and Elena ended up leaving at like the same time because I think she was just like freaking out about like missing her flight, and we both left and went home, and that was the end of it. So yeah, I mean, both of us like ended up missing the rest of Ultra, and it wasn't because, I mean, yeah, like the transportation and stuff was bad and like it was shitty, but like that wasn't the main reason why we ended up missing the rest of Ultra. We ended up missing the rest of Ultra mainly because of what happened to us with United Airlines. We had no idea that our flight home was canceled, so like we literally had to spend the rest of our Saturday trying to figure out how to get a flight home and like Elena had to transfer the rest of her money to her bank, and that took a really long time. I honestly think it was later than 3 when everything got figured out, so it was pretty late in the day, and we were just like, whatever. We're not going to be mad about missing it. Like, there's plenty of other music festivals. We're not going to sweat it. It's not a big deal. But, like, it was definitely kind of sad because, like, neither of us have ever experienced Ultra or been to Ultra. And we were excited to go for the first time. But it was just obviously not meant to be. I think the universe was trying to tell us something. But all the stuff that kept going wrong. So we were just like, we're just going to pack it up on this one and go home. And, yeah, we're gonna try again maybe next year or something. But not right now. So I'm not like hating on, like, I think there was like a few people in my comment section that really misunderstood what I was talking about and like were like, oh my god, you're hating on Ultra, and like I'm not hating on Ultra at all. Like, even from the time I was there, like, yeah, like again, like I said, like Elena was upset about the noise bleeding, and like that definitely what it took away from like Cash is playing with his toy. But it definitely took away. Cash, no. The noise bleeding definitely took away from some of the DJ sets, but other than that, like, I still had tons of fun. Like, I mean, it was a really cool environment. I can totally see why people love it and would want to go back every single year. I honestly kind of want to go back and try it again. Hopefully United Airlines won't screw me over again, and I won't ever stay at a shady Airbnb again. We're still in the middle of getting a refund. Because also they went back and they lied after we were already in a hotel and told Airbnb that the case had been disputed and that we were still staying in their Airbnb. Yeah, so Elena had to call Airbnb again, and like I felt so bad for her, and like she was crying, my poor baby, my heart broke. She was so upset, and she was like, I didn't dispute anything, I'm in a hotel, and like we had to send them screenshots to prove we were in a hotel. We had to send them screenshots of like the transactions. It was crazy. So they're working on getting us refunds. Still, they're gonna get us refunds for like the hotel and for the Airbnb. And like the guy who works for Airbnb was just like appalled that this woman did this and that she was lying, and even said the case was disputed and that we were still staying in their house and their location and that we were happy. And like, it was just craziness when we were in a freaking hotel miles away, not even there, and we hadn't been there at all. Like, we were there for 2 hours and that was it. So I mean, it was crazy. It was a scam, and yeah. That's why my Ultra was a shit show. It had nothing to do with like, yeah, I mean the transportation and stuff was crazy and it was definitely shitty, and we got into some Ubers where the people didn't even speak English, so it was like a whole mess and we had like no idea what was even happening. Our Uber driver dropped us off somewhere in the freaking suburbs. Yeah, it was a whole thing, but that's not the main reason why we left. We just left because we ended up getting screwed over with our flights, and then when we found new flights, they happened to be on Sunday, and we were like, whatever. At this point, we're just lucky to find flights home. We don't want to like get stuck in Miami, because I had a job the weekend after too, so I was like, I can't get stuck here. Like, I have a job, I have to leave. So we were just lucky to be leaving and like going home. We were like, as long as there's a flight home and we're not stuck here, like, it's fine, whatever. We're gonna cut our losses. It can always be worse, like, it's fine. We're going to EDC, so we're really excited about that. We're hoping EDC will be like a way better experience. I've been there. This will be my third year or fourth year, I don't even remember at this point. 3rd or 4th year going, and I'm really excited. So I always know my way around there. I know nothing will go wrong, hopefully, knock on wood. I know nothing will go wrong, hopefully, again, knocking on wood. But I know my way around there a little bit better is what I should say, so it should be a little bit easier for me to navigate. So yeah, we're excited for that one. And I don't even think she's ever been to EDC Las Vegas, so I'm excited to take her. I'm just sorry I didn't get to vlog more, and I'm sad I didn't get to go the other 2 days, and sad it didn't work out. Yeah, but sometimes that's life. You know, shit just doesn't work out. But yeah, I hope this answered your questions for all of you who've been like blowing me up about what happened at Ultra, why I dipped, why I wasn't there. A lot of you have been telling me to spill the tea. There's really no tea. This is what happened. My life is just kind of like an awkward movie. So like, there's no like interesting tea. That's just really what went down. And yeah, if you want more videos like this, I don't know, I've never really done other story time videos, so I can try, but just let me know in the comments. Love you guys. Hit the bell, like, subscribe, comment, do all that YouTuber shit that makes me happy. So